Welcome to Pellicer Heredia, International Lawyers and Tax Advisors. Today we're going to share with you some of the difference between being resident and non-resident in Spain. As you may be aware, there is a big difference on that point. If you stay in Spain more than 183 days, which is almost 6 months, you could be aware that you have to inform the tax office that you are an income tax resident in Spain. There is differences on taxation and difference on the times for you to lodge the income tax return. As a non-resident, you will have from the 1st of January to the 31st of December to lodge the income tax return. You will have to provide your tax advisors last receipt on the local tax, which in the Comunidad Valenciana we call it Suma bill, or more of the expat community call it Suma bill. There is a big reference there on the Suma, and we will need that to work out the income tax return for you. As a non-resident, you will always need that to work the tax on the property. Income tax is only based as a non-resident on the properties you have in Spain. If you don't have any properties in Spain and you're non-resident, you will not have any declaration here, and there is no taxation except the local tax that it will depend only on certain issues. On the other side, most of my clients normally ask me about the main difference. If you stay 183 days or even more, you will have to report to the tax office that you're here. You're obliged to declare your worldwide income, even though you might have declared it abroad. There is some situations where you pay the tax abroad and then you take into consideration here because we've got a double taxation treaty, as you might be aware. You might ask me, Ignacio, what is the cut-off point of declaring as a resident? I will try to be very simple and easy on the information, because you might know that taxes are not easy to understand. If you're a pensionist and you earned over 11,200 euros in 2014, because we're doing this year the income tax return for last year, always behind, you could have a clear data detail here of 11,200 euros. Some of you might even earn more, some of you might earn less. If you earn less, you're not obliged to lodge your income tax return at all, except you've got differences on the incomes. For example, if you receive on activities over 1,000 euros on any activity, let's say renting abroad, you'll have the obligation to declare it, but you will not pay the tax probably. Right, the 11,200 euros on pensions, until that scale, you don't pay tax. You're not obliged to lodge it. However, in some circumstances, you're obliged to declare the information but not to pay the tax. Let's say, for example, when you've got some savings abroad and you don't pay taxes in Spain, you don't pay any tax over there. If you earn over 1,000 euros on any income, let's say interest, let's say rental, right, you must declare it. A lot of times you ask me as well about the allowances, the difference between in the UK, in Spain, or different countries. In Spain, there is a personal circumstance which is the main thing to work on your tax. The minimum allowance you might have is 5,151 euros. Now that will be increased if you receive money from pensions. You will receive another 2,652 euros, and depending on the age that you've got, if you are over 65 or below 65. If you're over 65, you will have 6,000 euros, 69, and when you are over 75, then you've got 7,000 euros allowance. You need to add these allowance on the age, plus the one that you receive from having the pension, plus if you have a mortgage, you'll have another allowance, or you've got dependents on you that will have another allowance. I know abroad is different, and Spain is pretty hard to explain how it works. We normally provide a tax guide to our clients, so it gives a little bit of peace of mind and tranquility on writing what are all the scales. You ask me as well a lot of times about declaring with your husband or wife. Now that is a situation where you could combine it. What we normally do, we combine the two things, income from husband and wife, and it will depend, the result will vary. Let's say one of the partners earns 0 and the other one over 11,200 euros, then you'll have an extra allowance on 3,400 euros on that, which will be beneficial to put them all together. However, if one of them earns some money and the other one as well, situations is the income will be higher than the allowances of one of the parties, and putting it together the scale will go higher. So probably we might advise on one not to declare or declare it 0, and the other one just doing individual income tax return for him. As a very brief guidance for you, I will say that after the allowance you'll be taxed from 17,000 euros, you'll be taxed 24.75 up to the scale on 33,000 euros. After that is a scale that goes higher up to 47% or even a little bit more. As I said to you, it's very important to know the difference to do the tax planning, and it's very important to know on what situation you are or in what situation you would like to be to do the tax planning. The difference between non-resident and resident are big, and the implications makes it different. The 720 form will not apply for those of you who are non-resident, and you will not have to declare the worldwide assets. However, if you're resident in Spain, you'll have to declare the worldwide asset information, but only the tax office wants that to make sure that we declare the profits that we make, the income that we make, so we could lodge it from May, 1st of May until the 30th of June. This year is a bit earlier. We have started on the 7th of April. We could do it and lodge it through the internet from now onwards, right? So any question you might have, we're more than happy to arrange an appointment. Taxes are different situations, different circumstances for everybody. It's better for you to have a conversation with an independent lawyer and tax advisor, and then get the best advice out of that. Okay? Thank you very much, and we'll see you in the future.